Oh, we need a little more Christmas up here. Just a minute. There we go. Perfect? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Carmen Go. I will be your host for this evening. In just a little while, we are going to meet up with a group of, let's say, interesting individuals. 6 of these individuals, man, this hat is heavy, end up being suspects in a crime in our little town of Pine Valley. Not much really happens here in this little town, so when it happens big. And it's a big, big deal. There's no time like Christmas time here in Pine Valley. The streets are decorated with lights and inflatables, manger scenes, Christmas carols can be heard all throughout the town. And just in case you haven't noticed, I like Christmas. And I especially like Christmas clothes. So, we might as well get this party started with a Christmas song. So, I think, anybody know what we're going to sing? Very good. Are you ready? A 1 and a 2 and a 3. Jingle bells, come on now. A little louder. Come on, we need some Christmas spirit in here. One more time. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Give yourself a hand. I must say there is Christmas spirit in here. Oh, yes, and for Pine Valley, it's like a trip back in time in December. Well, except for this year. Our quiet little town has had a horrible crime happen. And to think that this crime took place in our historic Pine Valley Church. Now, before you assume too much about anything, it's important for you to know that you are about to go on a journey of uncovering evidence. And later you will be deciding who the guilty party is. Did y'all get a little piece of paper? Yes. Okay, so you watch as everything takes place so you can eliminate the ones that you think are innocent and get down to that one that's guilty. So for me, Carmen Go it is, and all of us at Pine Valley, we welcome you to our little town. Please, please help us get to the bottom of this terrible, terrible crime. Get ready now. You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, because our characters are about to make their way out here. And by the way, you have a really good time, okay? Keep that Christmas spirit up, and I'll see you later. Okay.
It was December 21st, just days before Christmas, and I was out Christmas shopping, of course. See, I live alone, no family in the area, so I was basically shopping for myself. Go figure. Anyway, I went to the local pet store to buy a rare spider, but I found a better deal on the web. The rest of my Christmas shopping list was composed of spy-type gadgets used in my line of profession as a crime fighter.
Okay, it's not a gadget.
Yes. I tried to stay away from the busy malls. I've got a fear, a phobia, you might say, of over-engineered buildings. My doctor/therapist calls it a complex. True story. My name is Vic, Victorious. Yes, indeed, I have quite the reputation in this part of the country as being a crime solver that almost always gets to the bottom of the case. I don't like to say that about myself, others say it about me. I hadn't had a legitimate case since July, when old lady Milligan called me to inform me that her 15-year-old cat named Gladola had come up missing after her most recent gathering with the quilting club. Hardly an open and shut case. Those old ladies clammed up when I started asking questions. I couldn't get a straight answer out of any of them. Who knew that a quilting club could be such a hotbed of deceit and mystery? But you know what they say about quilters? They come with strings attached. But in true Victorious fashion, I wrapped the case up within 24 hours. You could even say it was a brief case. You see, while interviewing their club's president, Isabel Ringing, at the local tea room, I heard a faint cry come from her large quilted bag. I'd soon discovered that the feline fugitive had accidentally been sewn into the beginnings of the next quilt. So not only did I rescue Gladola, but I also arranged for all the club members to get cataract and hearing exams. And that was my last case. Well, there was that one client that contacted me from a local dairy farm. Said they had missing blocks of cheese. Well, I knew with my lactose intolerance that I couldn't cut it. So I referred him to a friend of mine who's a certified cheese detective. But he said he wouldn't take the job. Said he only takes them on a queso by queso basis. True story. So it was 4 days before Christmas when the call came in from Pine Valley Church. Said there was a huge dilemma there. The church secretary, a lady named Barb Dwyer, real nice lady, had called me and was frantic. Said there was an emergency. So without giving too many details, she asked me to come immediately. Said there was a mystery there that required my expertise. Well, I really hoped that it wasn't like the case a few years ago, when all my clues led me to a petty thief. When I confronted him, he ran out the door and right into some wet cement. Literally within a few days, he was a hardened criminal. True story. Oh my goodness, I have stumbled on the scene of a horrific crime. Oh, once again I'll summon my inner fortitude to once again look upon this terrifying scene. Oh. Enough to turn one's stomach. Ghastly.
Surely you aren't the detective.
I'm not? Then who am I? And unfortunately, my name's not Shirley.
Surely. I just meant, oh, forget it. Are you the detective that I called this morning?
Yes, ma'am. Victorious at your service.
Does this scene bother you?
Ma'am, I'm a professional. I've seen it all.
Not this, you haven't.
After I pick up my pen, I'll then ask you what happened here.
Well, I was coming into my office this morning.
And you are?
Talking.
Miss Talking. Odd name. Western European?
That's not my name, you ninny. I just meant, oh, never mind. I'm Barb Dwyer, the church's secretary for over 17 years.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Anyway, I was coming into my office this morning to notice that it was gone.
Your was gone. How's that even possible?
Not my office, that!
Not that.
Look at the outline, detective.
Nothing helps a case with well documentation.
It's obviously our church's grand piano.
You must be very fond of it since you refer to it as grand.
It's grand because, oh, never mind. Who could have taken such a beautiful instrument?
Have you lived in Pine Valley a long time?
Most of my life. My twin sister and I graduated from Pine Valley High.
Do you have any ideas on who would have taken this antique piano?
Trust me, all the people around here are questionable. I better get that. I'll be right back.
This case could be complicated. Maybe even more complicated than Gladola and the Quilting Club. Kind of reminds me of what my next line should be. There's a lot to remember. Oh, yes, yes. Thank you. It's eerily similar to my interrogation of the watchmaker accused of murder. During the interrogation, I said, "Listen here, Mr. Watchmaker. I know what makes you tick, so start talking." Aha! What's this? A note. It's a mysterious suspect list. Names and phone numbers. Convenient. There appears to be 5 names on this list. I believe this would be a good idea to call these 5 people and bring them in for questioning. You know, the first 48 hours in a case of this magnitude is very important. I'll sneak down the hall and call them right now.
Well, I see he found my helpful little list. It's got to be one of those people on that list. I can't believe our piano is gone, and just days before our holiday classical musical. I hope he heard that. We'll see if Barney Fife can solve the case, or maybe I just need to help him along a little bit.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Won't you? Oh, there you are, Barb. I was looking for you in the office. I just wanted to. Oh my goodness! It's gone! The grand piano's gone! Where is it?
Seriously, Pastor? You don't know where it is?
Of course not! Who would have taken it from here?
Are you sure you don't know?
Well, I'm sure I don't like the accusing tone in your voice.
Accusing tone?
Why, you must have loved that piano, Barb. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was here on my day off and I heard you playing that very piano.
What were you doing here on your day off?
Well, I simply came in to get a book from my office. And I heard this playing, and so I came down here and peeked in the door, but I didn't want to disturb you.
Well, I never saw you.
Not a real big deal. But you are quite good. How come you don't play for church services?
That's a long story, Pastor Sutton, and awfully personal. I wouldn't want to bore you.
Well, I'd like to hear it someday. After all, you can trust me.
I can trust no one.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. Sometimes I just mumble a little.
Well, that's just dandy. Knew I should have charged my phone. Anyway, miss talking your back.
I'll explain later.
We have somebody new in the room. And who might you be?
Pastor Sutton, Oliver Sutton.
Pastor Oliver Sutton.
Yes, he is our new pastor, new to the community. He's only been here about 2 months.
Pastor Sutton, new to the community. Interesting. Name's Victorious. Nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. You look sort of familiar.
Familiar. I wonder why he thinks I look familiar. Maybe he's seen me coming and going from my housing development. It's just a half a mile from here. It's built specifically for crime fighters such as myself. It's called Sherlock Holmes. True story. True story. You might even call it my legal pad. Anyway, Pastor Sutton, I've called a few people on my suspect list, and they're on their way down here for questioning. I'm going to go to the church office, continue calling the rest of the people, and consider a strategy. We'll reconvene here when everyone arrives.
You hired a private investigator? How come you didn't call the police?
I didn't know who to trust. The police in this small town could have talked and caused our thief to flee.
And Victorious is the answer?
We'll see.
And what about this list of suspects? If he just got here, how in the world can he already have a list of suspects?
Well, gee, Pastor Sutton, I guess I...
Oh my gravy, what is going on here? I got a call from a private detective who told me to get here immediately because it's gone. Our grand piano is gone.
Oh my goodness, she fainted!
Oh yeah, you're new here. Anne faints on command. Her own command. She's sort of like those fainting goats. Just the slightest bit of stress and down she goes. And every time you ask her why she passed out, she simply says, I haven't the slightest idea.
Are we just gonna leave her on the floor?
Well, I'd be tempted to do that anyway, but Anne isn't exactly known for her extended faints. She should come to in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gravy, it's gone. It's really gone. Our grand piano is gone.
Yes, Anne, our piano was stolen. Do you know anything about it?
Me? Why would I know anything? Well, I'm just as confused as a turtle on the center strap of the highway.
Well, antique dealer, we do have reason to suspect you.
Me? Bob Dwyer, how dare you accuse me of criminal activity? I have no idea what's going on here. I'm just as lost as last year's Easter egg right now.
Well, Anne, we all know how you felt about that piano.
I love that piano.
Precisely.
And it's right before Christmas. What about our Christmas musical?
Well, maybe you should have thought about that before.
Ladies, please, this isn't going to get any of us anywhere. Perhaps if we should go down to the church foyer and wait for whoever's on the suspect list to arrive.
Yeah, suspect list. Let's do that. Let's wait in the foyer.
Oh my goodness.
There, all the people on the list have been contacted. Each one of them expressed a combination of bewilderment, shock, and nervousness. It kind of reminds me of another time when I forgot my line and I'm looking through my list. Anyway, yes. Okay, yes. It reminds me of the time that I caught a librarian stealing. The judge really threw the book at her. Put her in a 4-story jail. True story. So let's review what we know. Pine Valley Church's annual classic Christmas musical, say that 3 times, is coming up in just a few days. Mysteriously, the church's antique piano that Secretary Barb Dwyer refers to as Grand has came up missing. Not an easy task. The said Mrs. Dwyer then called me for help. She seemed frantic when I got here, distraught even, over the missing piano. I mysteriously found a potential suspect list lying on the floor. Nifty. Then there's Pastor all of a sudden. Pastor Sutton is new to the community, so it's really hard to tell where he stands right now. Before coming out here, I couldn't help overhear the tension in the conversation between Bob Dwyer and Antiquity. Now, Miss Tiquity arrived to the church in record time, which causes me to wonder her proximity when she took the call. Maybe I'll sit out here in the audience and observe. Maybe one of them will give theirself away. They'll be arriving any minute now. Ooh. This is almost as tense as the time I caught the dry cleaner laundering money. True story.
Hello? Hey, it's me. Yeah, Barb and Ann are waiting for the last person to arrive. This is crazy. We've only been here 3 months. And the historical antique grand piano is missing. They're going to assume it's me. I'm the new guy here. They don't like me much anyway. I'm the 47th pastor they've had in 46 years. They're not exactly known for pastoral care here. No doubt about it, they're going to do all they can to make sure I'm found guilty of this. But what can they do about it? This is certainly not how we saw Christmas unfolding this year, is it? Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever you do, don't go out in the garage. I have some Christmas gifts hiding in there. That's right, that's what I said, Christmas gifts. I love you. You too, I love you. Oh, here they come.
I think he's in here. Oh, there you are, Pastor Sutton. Why, you disappeared quicker than a pack of Oreos at a Weight Watchers meeting.
That's pretty
I brought Jess in here with me.
Hi, Pastor Sutton. I'm Jestard. I'm in the youth group.
Oh, and the drama team too, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
What were you doing in here all by yourself, Pastor Sutton?
Well, I just thought I'd have some alone time here in the sanctuary until everybody arrived. Just thinking about the Christmas musical and all.
I know. So sad, isn't it? We were all ready for our last rehearsal and poof! Our very valuable antique grand piano has disappeared. It's going to be impossible to do our Christmas musical without it.
Yeah, because we certainly wouldn't want to ruin the classical Christmas musical with anything not reaching a century's past.
Listen here, youngin'. We have have traditions here at Pine Valley Church. Traditions like our classic Christmas musical. And we don't need young whippersnappers like yourself bringing your adolescent ideas of such holiday blasphemies. Maybe you and your little hooligan friends know something about this here crime.
Oh, Johnny. Oh, so I'm a youth group drama team lead. Doesn't mean I stole your old missing junky piano.
Old and junky?
Barb says she does this often.
Whenever she did it, and she called my friend dramatic. Listen, Pastor, it's no secret I wanted to add drama to the Christmas musical, but I would not.
We're here. Who said something she didn't like?
I said something about the missing piano.
Old and junky? You called it old and junky.
She's back. You ready for your close-up, Miss Tickwoody?
You know, Bob, sometimes you're as useful as a trapdoor in a canoe.
Well, listen here, you wacky, faint-hearted.
Ladies, please. We're not going to get anywhere if we continue like this.
So, it really is gone, huh?
Well, obviously.
Such a shame. Even though we never had that high B flat key to work quite right, we've been meaning to get that checked out. Do you have any idea what that piano was worth?
I do. It was quite the collector's item.
I'm sure you both know. Antiquity knows because she's an antique dealer who, I might add, has been trying to purchase the piano for years. And you, Xavier Money, as Pine Valley's treasurer, you know we're in desperate need of funds. What better way to get them than to...
Hold it right there, Barb. Are you insinuating I did something questionable?
If the shoe fits.
All right, what's the commotion here? Some crazy detective called me and told me to drive my truck right over here.
Who are you?
Frida Livery. I work for LDS.
So you're a Mormon truck driver?
Not that LDS. Leisurely Delivery Service.
Their motto is, we'll get there when we feel like it.
Catchy, isn't it?
So she's not a Mormon. Well, we're all here. Where's the detective?
Is there even a detective?
Yeah, how do I know whether or not the call I got was from an actual detective?
Because I'm the detective that called you.
Aren't any of you folks gonna help her?
No, she does this all the time.
The name is Detective Victorious. Never met a crime I couldn't solve. Excuse me. Except for that one robbery in the downtown parking garage. That was wrong on so many levels. True story. I can currently say that I have come to a conclusion in this case.
What's that, detective?
That one of you has stolen the piano and committed the crime.
Any piano, our classic antique grand piano.
Man, it's remarkable how quickly she comes back to life.
Listen here, Magnesium PI. I think we already knew that.
We did?
Based on what evidence?
First of all, this mysterious suspect list that I misplaced. Not that one. That one.
Mysterious suspect list? Where'd you get that?
I found it on the floor.
Let me see that. It's not that mysterious, Mr. Inspector. That there's Bob Dwyer's handwriting. I can tell by how hard she presses down on that pencil. All that anger.
Is that true, Barb?
Yes, I wrote that list, and I put it in a place where he could find it. And he did.
And aren't you the one that contacted him in the first place?
Yeah, you obviously went with a bumbling, easily confused detective. Coincidence?
I think not.
I had no idea he was so bumbling when I called.
It's true, I'm quite the actor. She had no way of knowing.
How in the world did I get on that list? I don't even attend Pine
I bet they're okay with drama in church.
Actually, we are. At Easter, we had angels repelling from the balcony as the stone rolled away from the tomb.
Can we get back to the problem at hand? Bob Dwyer has wrote a suspect list with all of our names on it.
I bet she's on it because she makes a delivery here yesterday afternoon.
Exactly. Oh, I have a delivery here almost every afternoon.
Precisely.
What does that mean?
Are you implying that I'm guilty?
No, I'm just simply saying that everyone on the list has a reason.
I knew it.
And so do you, Miss
Yeah.
Dwyer.
Yeah.
Everyone remains a suspect until we get a little more information.
And you thought by writing this list you'd get away with it. You know, Bob Dwyer, you're lower than a snake's belly in a wagon's rut.
What's with all the quaint little sayings? You're not even Southern. What does that even mean?
I think it's best if we all calm down and take a few minutes. We'll calm ourselves down and reconvene.
I've got a break right now, so I'm good for another 2 to 3 hours.
You have a 2 to 3 hour break?
Yeah.
No wonder our packages are always late.
Before we reconvene, take just a moment and think. Think about why somebody would have stole the piano and their motive. Think about that and we'll reconvene in 5 minutes. Think about it without discussing it with anyone else. You know, sometimes the key to solving a mystery.
Stop discussing it.
Yes. The key to solving a mystery is getting the perspective of everyone that's involved. One of them may know something that nobody else does. One thing's for sure, Pine Valley Church is going to find out who stole the grand piano and why. I can't help but remind myself of that short fortune teller that escaped from prison. I spent days tracking a small medium at large. True story. Not yet. No intermission for you. So here we all are, all the suspects of the Pine Valley Church mystery. Yes, just days before Christmas, this antique piano was stolen. Why did somebody wait days before Christmas? Because it's such an emotional time of year. Either people love it and anticipate it all year long, or others dread it due to the long-lost memories of years gone by. Whoever took it, though, had a very emotionally charged reason. Emotionally charged indeed. Kind of like the article I read in the Pine Valley Chronicle the other day. The Energizer Bunny got arrested. He was charged with battery. True story.
All right, enough with your rambling. It's no mystery that Antiquity stole that piano.
Me?
I think I need her on the drama team.
Why do you think it's antiquity?
Seriously? She's an antique dealer who has been trying to purchase that piano for years and is always talking about its value. She also said on one occasion that we're ruining it by its constant use. She said it belongs in a museum, but if you ask me, she wanted it for her own private collection. And when you realize that her great-grandpa's connection.
Leave Grandpa Early Bird out of this. late great-grandfather, Early Bird.
Yes. Grandpa Early Bird was the original owner of that piano.
How did you find that out?
Well, I was returning a hymnal into the sanctuary the other day when I seen it for the first time. Inscribed into the leg of the grand piano was his name, Earl E. Bird.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true. My gravy is true. My grandpa Early Bird bought that piano a long time ago.
So her great-grandfather owned a piano. Big deal.
It's not that interesting until you realize that that's the real reason Antiquity became an antique dealer.
What, to eventually get the piano back?
That seems a little far-fetched.
So Grandpa Early Bird once owned the piano. Antiquity wanted it back. Why?
Because it's mine.
Oh.
Did I say that? Did I say that out loud?
You sure did.
Well, it doesn't mean I'd still get it. I am a God-fearing woman of Pine Valley Church, and in the most holiest of seasons. If you ask me, it was save your money.
Attention suddenly get on me.
You didn't want that, did you?
What do you mean?
As treasurer of Pine Valley Church, everybody knows you've been worried about the finances.
And a piano has what to do with
Save
that?
your money. Did you or did you not come into my antique shop inquiring about the value of that piano?
I did, but
And were you or were you not shocked to learn the estimated value of that piano?
I was, but I...
And did you or did you not take out an insurance policy on that piano the very next day?
You insured the piano?
Who insures a
Oh,
piano?
I've never heard such a thing.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true. I insured the piano.
Bum, bum, bum! Sorry, it felt like it worked right there. Continue.
Anyways, I was looking out for the best interest of Pine Valley Church.
By not telling anyone that you insured it?
I was gonna say something at the next board meeting.
And just who is the beneficiary on that plan? Xavier?
That's none of your business, Miss Tigwinny.
But as a pastor, it is mine.
I suggest, Mr. Money, that you answer the question.
I'm the beneficiary.
Why would you do that?
Yes, Mr. Money. Why would you insure a grand piano? Why would you not tell anyone? And why would you make yourself the beneficiary?
I was gonna get the name transferred over to the church at the next board meeting, but like we said, we haven't had one since I've done it. Why are we all just forgetting about Antiquity's great-grandpa Early Bird?
Leave Grandpa Earl out of this!
I answered your question, you hick. Now what I want to know is why no one's accusing Pastor Oliver Sutton.
The pastor?
Think about it. What do we know about him? He just moved here from Wyoming.
What does Wyoming have to do with it?
I don't know, something about cows. But for all we know, he could be a world-class thief.
Yeah, a world-class piano thief.
Is there even such a thing?
I once arrested a piano player.
What happened?
He got into trouble.
This is ridiculous.
And
We came here to serve Pine Valley Church.
And I think it's worth mentioning that when I went to talk to the insurance agent, he thought it'd be a great conversational item to say that he met with your wife. And what did she tell him? That she used to play the piano. Why does she no longer play the piano, Pastor Sutton?
This is absurd.
Why does she no longer play the piano, Pastor Sutton?
Well, this is going to sound incriminating.
Is it incriminating?
Well, we had to sell her piano before we moved here to Pine Valley because we couldn't afford to bring it from Wyoming.
That reminds me, I delivered to a music store downtown, and the manager told me there was a local pastor in there looking for a piano for his wife for Christmas. Was that you?
Yes, I wanted to do what I could to get another piano for my wife. What a great Christmas present that would be for her to have another piano.
And Pastor Son's daughter is on my drama team. She told me that back when she used to live in Wyoming, her and her family would come around the piano to sing Christmas carols.
Sounds like you were getting this piano just in time.
Certainly sounds suspicious to me.
It sounds suspicious to me.
And isn't it interesting that he sounds so confused behind that pulpit all the time?
Yeah, as if he's not used to preaching at all.
And now my preaching has been now my preaching is making me guilty? I think you need to stop criticizing me and look at somebody else in this room, because no one has been mentioning barbed wire.
Now listen here, preacher.
Yes, would you randomly shout out Bob's name?
I think that a couple weeks ago, I came in here and heard her playing the piano. She plays the piano.
She does? I had no idea.
Yes, I can play the piano. I used to play the piano here a long time ago. But I stopped since the use of these modern instruments, I just felt that they were inappropriate. I used to love playing the old hymnals, but like I said, I just couldn't play with the modern church. So long ago, before any of you started attending Pine Valley, I stopped playing publicly, and I only do so privately.
Stranger things have happened.
They certainly have.
Speak to me, stranger.
No, I didn't. Just say it. Okay. Speaking of Stranger Things, I remember when I was going to school, I saw free delivery getting into her truck.
What? I get into my truck a couple hundred times a day.
Yeah, but it was way down, like really low, like all the way down here.
I know what he's talking about. I saw her truck in town too, probably right after that. The back door was popped open, but inside it was really shadowy, but I could see the figurette of what looked like to be a large item, but it was covered by some sort of black blanket.
Like a piano cover.
Are you people serious? I'm a delivery driver. I haul heavy items.
This is true. It's not unusual for an LDS truck to have heavy items.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I just remember last week I had a clergy luncheon and her pastor mentioned that they were looking for a new keyboard.
Yeah, a new keyboard, not an old relic like that.
An old
Oh, you heard me.
relic?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we're a much more contemporary church.
Wait a minute, the hillbilly was onto something. What makes you call it an old relic? Have you ever even seen the piano before?
I called it that because it's an antique.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you should call it a relic.
Well, it had a couple serious scratches on it.
Aha! How would you know that?
Well, because I deliver packages here.
Yeah, to the office. That's on the other side of the building.
The other day, I came in here to the sanctuary. I needed a signature for my delivery. I came into the office, nobody was there. So I walked down the hall calling out to somebody, and nobody answered. So I came in here and I seen it, that's all.
And that quick glance allowed you to notice several small scratches on the piano?
Yeah, I'm observant. It's part of my job. Besides, if we used that piano at my church, everyone would know where it came from. We live in the same town.
But you deliver all over the county. It'd be easier for you to take the piano elsewhere and then sell it somewhere. And then you could use that money to buy the keyboard for your new church.
And everybody would leave here and go to your church.
leave Grandpa Earl out of this.
Nobody mentioned Earl.
Okay, so I had a heavy truck. That's not unusual.
But it was still heavy when I was getting home from school.
So why is nobody blaming the teenager? He's on the list for a reason.
Why am I on this list?
Because you wanted drama in the church musical.
You actually threatened to stop our musical if we didn't break with tradition and put your drama in it.
Oh, I remember that. He was quite agitated. So many voice cracks.
Seriously? I stole a whole piano because you old people won't put drama in the Christmas musical?
I think it's highly likely your whole generation is completely out of control.
Okay, fainting lady, we're out of control. Yes, I may have said those things, but threatened is a strong word. And I was very upset about the lack of drama in the Christmas musical. The youth group never gets to participate on anything on Sunday. We just want to show you what we can do. We just want to have the chance to participate in the story of Christmas.
And stealing a piano might just get our attention.
And he's got the group to do it. You put that youth group together, and they can take that piano anywhere.
A bunch of teenagers with spaghetti arms. You really think that happened?
I still think it was antiquity.
My money's on money.
I'm going free delivery.
Pastor Sutton.
Cranky old barbed wire.
Just her did it.
All right, let's review some facts, shall we? Now, Miss Bob Dwyer definitely had the motive as an act of revenge against antiquity. She certainly had the opportunity, since she's here when most people are not. Then there's free delivery. Her church needed a new keyboard. Did she have some help and load it onto her truck, sell it out of town, and take the money and buy a new keyboard for their own Christmas program? Then there's antiquity. Did she take it for her personal collection to honor her great-grandfather, Early Bird? Then there's Xavier Money. His motive is based solely on money. Since he took out the insurance policy on the piano, he would benefit greatly from its disappearance. Then there's Just Chud. I just like to say that, Just Chud. The youth group drama team leader. Yes, he was admittedly angry. Did him and his peers move the piano just days before the classic Christmas musical so they could get it done their way? Then there's Pastor all of a sudden. Did he manage to get the piano moved to his house just in time for Christmas? This is all very interesting. It's very interesting indeed. Not an easy case to solve. It kind of reminds me of the time that the guy threw a bowl of Jell-O on his wife. Yes, he was arrested for carrying a concealed weapon. True story. More importantly, who do you think stole the antique grand piano at Pine Tree?
It's me again. Carmen Go. Have you figured out who committed this horrible crime? Because if you have, you're a super sleuth because they skipped a page and a half. But anyway, you are now going to have the opportunity to vote on who you think did it. Can we have some house lights? You may have to share ink pens if you have one, but this is the time we're going to take right now. You came in with a piece of paper. You're going to circle who you think did it. Then I have two guys on both ends. It's going to pass a basket, and we're going to collect that. Everybody have their paper? Yeah. I don't know where yet. have voted and someone has took your slip, you can make your way down the hallway. If you need to use the restrooms, they're all the way down to the end on the right and the left. If you would like a cookie or something to drink, the kitchen's right in between. We will reconvene in 20 minutes.